This is it then, 2 rallies to go and just 5 points separate the top 2 drivers. Ford's Mikko Hirvonen and Citroen's Sebastian Loeb. The 5-time world champion looked to be back on track with an emphatic win in Australia, but the celebrations were cut short as a paperwork error meant his Citroen was deemed to have illegal anti-roll bar links. Loeb was handed a 1-minute penalty, which gifted first place to championship rival Hirvonen.
He didn't earn anything with this piece, and finally I lost 4 points. So, but it is like that. I forget it and just try to concentrate. Now my job is to try to win. It's what I will try to do, and for the rest we will see.
So instead of just being a single point behind Hirvonen, Loeb now finds himself 5 behind. That means even if Sebastian wins the last 2 events, he still has to rely on someone else to beat the Finn. In the manufacturers, Citroën have a 13-point lead over Ford, and if they can beat their rivals by 6 points here in Spain, the title will be theirs once more. As a rally, Spain is as close as it gets to circuit racing. The stages are fast, wide roads with smooth, flowing corners. Driving style will be critical. Fortunately for Loeb, Spain is a happy hunting ground for both him and Citroën. In fact, the team have taken the top 2 spots on the Catalonian tarmac for the last 3 seasons. But unlike previous years, the pressure is really on both Loeb and Sordo to repeat the feat.
I didn't want to get in this situation, but okay, everything is still possible. We are in Spain. It's a rally where we have done some very good results in the past, Danny also. So if we could do a result like in the 3 last years, it would be perfect.
For Hirvonen, 2 second-place finishes will be enough, but this is tarmac, his least favoured surface, and he knows that even second spot would be a huge achievement.
It's going to be extremely hard. I mean, Sordo has been here second, I think now 3 times in a row, and he's really fast here. And also Sebastian Ogier, I'm sure he's going to be fast. And then who knows how fast Petter is going to be with Citroën. So it's going to be a hard job for sure.
It really is going to be tough. As Mikko mentioned, Ogier is another Frenchman who was brought up racing on tarmac. And then there's Petter Solberg, who's finally been given a 2008 spec Citroën C4. He's not a tarmac expert, but he does have huge experience on these Spanish stages. The rally is once again based in the holiday resort of Salau, which is situated about an hour's drive south of Barcelona. The service park is situated at the Portaventura theme park. The crews will head out from here to the 18 stages, which total 354 kilometres. The route is identical to last year's event. The ceremonial start took place last night on the seafront in Salau. And there were no surprises when the home nation's hero Danny Sordo received the biggest cheer of the night. A critical weekend ahead for the man from Santander. But let's move on to the action, and here is the information on today's stages. Day 1 of Rally Spain is the longest of the event at 132 kilometres. There are 6 stages in total, with 3 in the morning, and these are repeated in the afternoon. The first stage, La Masara, provides a tough test for the drivers and the tyres, with several downhill hairpins towards the finish. The second is more typical of the Spanish stages. It's double width with fast flowing corners. The third is narrower, but still quick, and this one could be tricky on the second run through, as several of the corners are dirty and slippery. Mikko Hirvonen will be first into action as the championship leader, and on the Catalan tarmac, there will be no road sweeping to worry about. Mikko focused on the job ahead. Rally de Catalunya gets underway under clear blue skies with the temperature around 17 degrees Celsius, although there are a few damp sections around after heavy overnight rain. Sebastian Loeb is next into the 20-kilometre La Masara stage, and as the winner in Spain for the last 4 years, is the overwhelming favourite to do so again this season. Classic section of Catalan road here, fast and flowing, and neat driving style crucial, and Sebastian is the best in the business on stages like this. Next into the stage is Citroen's number 2 and a man who'll have a big part to play this weekend, home hero Dani Sordo. The Spaniard is more than capable of winning his home event, but his role will be to back up his world champion teammate and hopefully ensure Citroen retain the manufacturer's championship with 1 round to spare. Jari-Matti Latvala is next on the start line. Ford's number 2, like his teammate, isn't at his best on sealed surfaces. His best result in Spain is 6th. Hirvonen, meanwhile, is well on his way into the stage now, and we can get an early indication if all Mikko's hard work on his tarmac technique has paid off by checking on his pace using virtual spectator. Approaching the 11-kilometre split time roughly halfway through the stage, and look at this, Mikko was actually quickest. 7 tenths up on Sordo and 1.9 quicker than Loeb at that point. What a start this is for the championship leader. It's early days, of course, but this could be an incredible opening stage for Ford's number 1. He's through the finish boards in a time of 11 minutes, 34.4 seconds. A very strong start for Mikko. Loeb, like Hirvonen, is using the hard compound tyre despite the damp areas. It's made his C4 a bit unsteady at times, and he could struggle to match Mikko's time here. A second down, a very unexpected start. This time last year, Sebastian was 7 seconds quicker than Hirvonen on this stage, but not this year.
So wet with a hard tyre, it's difficult to say, so we continue and we will see.
Maybe the harder tyre will be better on stage 2 and 3.
Mikko is hard or soft?
He wouldn't tell me, and I couldn't see.
I know that we couldn't see because I checked, but I couldn't see.
In the absence of gravel, there are still tactics to consider with the tyre choice then. How is Loeb's teammate going? Sordo has looked incredibly quick in La Massara, and after being down on Hirvonen earlier, has he done enough to get back on terms with the Ford man?
De izquierda 5 poco lenta, de 30 se izquierda 5 poco lenta, 40 derecha 6 poco lenta, 6 poco lenta y fin.
Yes, a good response from Dani in there. He's a second quicker and Sordo takes the lead.
Really complicated, has sound pass with not a lot of water, but just so mid, you know, and but the car is okay. I had a little understand, but maybe it's the same for everybody. It's okay, I'm happy.
Latvala, meanwhile, has really struggled on this slippery opening stage. He ends it almost 18 seconds down on Sordo's time. And a first glimpse now at Petter Solberg in an up-to-date car for the first time this season. The Norwegian's had a few days testing in his new Citroen C4, but it will take some time for Petter to adapt. He's 4th fastest in stage 1, beating Latvala. Evgeny Novikov is driving alongside new co-driver Stefan Prevost for the first time.
Right 3. Left 1 sharp.
Oh, but that's an early error for the new partnership. The young Russian will be back on his way without too much drama, and he recovers enough to salvage 8th place on the leaderboard. So, home hero Dani Sordo leads the way with Hirvonen just 1 second behind. Loeb is 2 seconds off the pace so far, with Petter Solberg 4th and Latvala in 5th place. Sébastien Ogier is 6th. So far, the home nation's hero is delivering, and Dani met another Spanish sporting hero today, Tour de France winner Alberto Contador. We'll be hearing from Alberto and Dani after this break. Welcome back to the Costa Dorada, where Spanish star Dani Sordo leads after the opening stage. There are 2 more fast-flowing asphalt stages to run before a return to service in Salau. Conditions are slightly drier than the opening test, but there are still a few damp patches around. Championship leader Mikko Hirvonen is first into the stages and pushing hard, hoping to repeat the fine performance he showed on the previous test. Unfortunately for Mikko, though, Sebastian Loeb has slipped into his familiar tarmac rhythm. Despite his lingering understeer, the five-time world champion smashes Hirvonen's time by almost 5 seconds in stage 2 and surges past his championship rival on the leaderboard.
100 mètres. Droite 50 bon long, vraiment pas corde.
Seb is not the quickest out there, though. That honour still goes to Spanish sensation Dani Sordo. He was again quicker than his Citroën teammate on stage 2, but can he do the same on stage 3? Co-driver Mark Marty celebrated his birthday yesterday, and the celebrations continue today. It's another fastest time. Sordo's now 4.8 seconds ahead of his teammate. Peter Solberg looks to be getting to grips with the Citroën C4, which he's driving competitively for the first time. The 2003 world champion looking very composed on these twisty tarmac roads, and he consolidates his hold on 4th place. And there is more good news to come for Citroën, as Sébastien Ogier has also, as expected, shown good pace on the Spanish tarmac, despite a lingering brake problem. With the 5th fastest time in the 24-kilometre El Montmel stage, the Frenchman passes Jari-Matti Latvala to claim 5th place. Jari-Matti is trying hard, but can't seem to find a good rhythm on these fast-flowing tarmac roads so far. He needs to move up if he wants to help his team retain some hope in the manufacturer's title, but with a setup issue at the rear of his car, the Ford man is still off the pace at the moment. And by the end of stage 3, Latvala's already a minute behind the early leader, and confirmation here that the leader is Dani Sordo. He's 4.8 seconds up on his teammate Loeb and over 19 seconds ahead of Hirvonen. It's back to the service park at Portaventura now, and a chance for Hirvonen to assess another dominant display by the Citroëns.
Mikko seemed to be a good start this morning, but what happened in stage 3?
Well, I kind of have a feeling that when the tires are wearing, so basically the grip is getting better, the car handling is a lot worse, so feels like there's so good grip in the rear and it just understeers in every corner, so it's really impossible to attack or drive really fast.
Is there anything you can do here at the service to change that?
We have a look, hopefully. Otherwise, it's going to be the case through the whole rally. So unless we can have new tires for each stage, then that will be okay. But we'll see if we can do something about it.
It seemed to be a bit of a cautious start, but then in stage 3, you took a lot of time out of Mikko. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's but if you look at the times, it's the same as last year. We were not so much quicker than Mikko in the 2 first, and in the 3rd we are a lot quicker. And Dani is a bit quicker than last year, and so it's difficult to beat him.
What's the plan this afternoon? Are you happy you can maintain that pace?
Yeah, of course I am happy, but this afternoon I need more direction in the car. You know, it's a lot to understand, and maybe now also for the tires will be more difficult because the temperature is very hot now, and with these tires, when it's really hot, it's hard for the tires.
And Dani may be inspired by the presence of his fellow Spanish sporting superstar Alberto Contador. The cyclist who won his 2nd Tour de France this year was an interested onlooker at the Citroën service stop.
Dani is very good, no? Many years, the last 3 years, I think 2nd in the overall, but I won this year 1st, but it's not easy.
And be good to see the cars this afternoon.
Yes, this afternoon I will see the race in the helicopter, and tomorrow I will go also in the car.
That's exciting.
Yes.
I was very pleased to see Alberto, and for me, you know, it's the best you can find actually, better than Lance Armstrong, and this is why he won Tour de France and so on. I think he's the best and the greatest coureur you can find in the world actually.
Back up to the stages then for the afternoon loop. A repeated run through the 3 stages used this morning. It's still very hot out there, and Mikko Hirvonen begins stage 4, 19 seconds behind the leader. almost stalled the focus there. He does get moving. That was not the tidiest getaway from Mikko. There could be a bit of gravel around after corner cutting from the earlier pass, so Hirvonen will have to be on his guard as the first car through. And up against the formidable force that the Citroën drivers present, Mikko could afford no mistakes. With his understeer issues resolved at service, Sébastien Loeb should be even quicker this afternoon.
Ciel tout droit 100 mètres, droite 140 000 hectares. 200 mètres.
Again, though, it's Citroën's second driver, Dani Sordo, who's the man to watch out there this afternoon. With 13 second-place finishes to his name, the Spaniard's first win is long overdue. He clearly has the pace to challenge for victory this weekend. Unfortunately, with his teammate desperate for championship points, he's unlikely to be allowed to take the top spot again in Spain. The Citroën's looking incredibly quick again. Hirvonen could be in trouble here in La Massara. He's actually in a slightly better position than he was last season at the same stage. His tarmac driving has clearly improved, but unfortunately, up against the best asphalt rally drivers in the world, it's still not quite good enough. With the road a lot drier this afternoon, he's over 12 seconds quicker than his first run, but will that be enough to trouble the Citroëns? With Hirvonen already through the stage, Loeb is pushing on towards the finish, and the split times have again looked very promising for the world champion. He's going to be quicker again. Yes, Loeb pulls another 4.4 seconds away from his championship rival. But has Loeb done enough to concern rally leader Dani Sordo, the home hero, giving the local fans plenty to be proud of? He's really attacking the Catalan roads this afternoon. Can he beat Loeb's time and make it 4 stage wins out of 4? There's nothing in it. Oh, just Dani is quicker by just 1/10 of a second and extends his lead.
I lost in the middle of the stage a little bit brake, but at the end it's coming better. But it's okay. The car is better now in the corners. Not too much understeering, but it's harder for the tires now with this temperature.
Petter Solberg has continued to impress on his first outing in a Citroën C4. Be relishing using competitive machinery again, and the experienced Norwegian is in 4th and setting an impressive pace in the 20-kilometre La Massara. Sébastien Ogier's begun stage 4 just 0.8 of a second ahead of Jari-Matti Latvala. He could help secure Citroën the Manufacturers' Championship this weekend by keeping Latvala behind him, and judging from his early split times, he could beat him again in here. Was another good performance from Ogier. Latvala is 5.4 seconds slower. He's now 6.2 behind overall. This is how things stand after 4 stages then. Sordo holds an advantage of 4.9 seconds ahead of his teammate Loeb. Hirvonen's now 18.7 seconds behind his rival for the championship. Petter Solberg, Ogier and Latvala round off the top 6. Can Sordo hang on to that lead? The day's final stages are coming up after this break. Welcome back to the Rally de Catalunya. We have 2 more stages to run on this opening day, and there's been plenty of action up and down the leaderboard. Time now to check on the progress of some of the other runners further back. We've already seen Evgeny Novikov's spin on the opening stage, and the Russian has continued to have a lively day. He made another misjudgment here in stage 3. Evgeny fortunate to maintain his 7th place after that. Novikov is coming under a bit of pressure from behind too, with Stobart Ford's Matt Wilson running just 4.3 seconds back after stage 4. Federico Villagra is currently running in 9th on the Argentinian's final rally of 2009. Henning Solberg freely admits he's not the biggest fan of tarmac events. The Norwegian started well, but has faded as the days progressed. He's currently in 10th. French privateer Danny Snobek in the Peugeot 307 holds 11th position. One place ahead of Citroën Junior's Conrad Rautenbach, who struggled to get to grips with the Catalan asphalt so far. He is still in the running, though, which is more than can be said for Khaled Al-Qasimi. An oil leak means it's an early end to his day one run. It ends in the road section after stage 4. Another frustrating weekend from the man from Abu Dhabi. Back to the front runners for the final 2 stages of day 1 now, though, and 45 more kilometres for Hirvonen to make an attack on the runaway leaders. It's been a spirited effort from Ford's #1 today. He's not at his most comfortable on tarmac, but he's still giving it everything to stay in touch with the Citroëns. Alberto Contador has flown out to watch the action, and he's in for a treat as the two men at the front are pushing each other to even greater speeds. Sebastian Loeb begins stage 5, just 4.9 seconds behind his teammate Danny Sordo. He flashes past the reigning Tour de France winner and pushes so hard in the second run through Querol that his brakes begin to overheat. It's been effective, though. Seb claims his first fastest time of the day and closes up slightly on Sordo. Alberto keeping a close eye on his compatriot there. Danny was second fastest through stage 5, and with his tyres beginning to show excessive wear, he could lose the lead he's held all day here in the day's final stage. He needs to beat that target time. Yes, he's slower in the stage, but does just enough to maintain the lead. Danny ends the day just 1.6 seconds ahead. Petter Solberg's in 4th place, but continuing to slip adrift of the leading trio. It's been a satisfactory first day in the C4 for the Norwegian. He will be looking forward to attacking his favoured gravel surface at the final event in Wales.
4 left tightens, keep in. And right into 2 right minus, tightens early. Opens long, keep in. To 2 left minus, tightens.
Sébastien Ogier continues to have the edge over Latvala in the fight for 5th place, meanwhile. The Frenchman is 3.3 seconds quicker than his rival in the second run through Querol. Jari Matti is growing in confidence, though, on the Catalan tarmac. He declared his stage 5 run as one of his best ever asphalt performances, and he's only marginally slower than Ogier again in El Montmel. Latvala is just 13.8 seconds behind going into the first overnight break. So a great first day in Spain for Danny Sordo, who leads his home event, but Loeb has reduced his advantage to just 1.6 seconds. Hirvonen's now over half a minute behind his championship rival. At the other end of the leaderboard, Novikov in 7th has increased his lead over Matthew Wilson to nearly 18 seconds.
Yeah, for the moment it's really good. Danny was very fast all the day, and I had to fight really hard to stay at 1.6 seconds, but it's okay. We found some good setting in the afternoon. In the morning I was not 100% confident, but the main thing is that Mikko is more than 30 seconds behind.
You said you needed to finish second here. Is that still a possibility?
Well, I think by driving I can't really catch them, but if I can stay as where I am now, half a minute behind, if something happens to them, then maybe I could, climb up the second. But we'll see how the rally goes now.
Good day for me. I start really motivated, really well, and also the condition for the first stage and first stage was really difficult, slippery some parts, and difficult to drive. And with the setup of the car was not perfect. It's a little understeer all the time, but after second lap was better. The road was more grip in general, completely dry, and the performance with the car was really well.
And the plan for tomorrow?
The plan is continue to drive like today, for the line, fast, and not make mistakes.
As expected, the Citroens are dominating in Spain, but there are still 2 long days to come. Follow the action as it happens on WRC.com and join us again tomorrow for the Day 2 highlights.